extracted that with a CO2 process and then nanoed it. So it's something that doesn't exist anywhere else in the world.
So we're going to
Good? All right, we're good.
All right, we're on Facebook Live now. Just fair warning. All right, we have, I don't know if you heard about this, but we have almost 500,000 people on our page now.
Wow.
We're about 600 away, so we're trying to reach that. We're going to have a big celebration and all. So we're doing a Facebook Live event, 24 hours today, around the clock. We've been on since 6 last night, so you're part of our marathon.
Awesome.
All right. And also, we're editing this down for a podcast that can be seen on our website and also my website, markalfordkc.com. All right. So, and that's called Getting Comfortable with Mark Alford. I know it's a cheesy name. So I'm going to do a little intro here and we'll get started. You ready?
Great.
Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to Facebook Live. We have Vince Sanders and Todd Underwood. Vince Sanders and Todd Underwood are with American Shaman. Good to have you guys with us.
Thanks for having me.
What is American Shaman, Vince?
So American Shaman is a number of things. First, we're a CBD manufacturer. We manufacture over 124 different products that are infused with CBD.
And what is CBD?
So CBD stands for cannabidiol. It's a cannabinoid that we extract from the hemp plant. Most people are familiar with THC,
Right.
a cannabinoid that gets you, quote, high. CBD has no psychoactive effects, but has a lot of purported medicinal effects.
You can't really say it's a medicine, though.
We
The
cannot.
FDA will not allow you to do that.
Correct.
Right?
So we have to really talk around those kind of issues.
So what are the benefits of CBD oil?
Well, you can Google CBD oil and come up with a host of things, but it's used everything from irretractable epilepsy to cancer treatments. Not that we're claiming it does
Right.
that, but these are what people use it for. The most common thing we see is really anxiety and basic pain, like inflammation, arthritis, that type of thing, because so many people suffer from those type of ailments.
And so the American Shaman is also a physical store. You can order online, I assume, right?
Yeah, so we have 3 ways of distribution. We have online, we have franchises around the country. We're in 20 states now. And then we also do wholesale to a number of different, everything from doctor's offices, vitamin stores, holistic, a number of things. And we have cosmetic products that we sell even to salons.
Todd, how many locations do you have here in the metro?
I personally have one. There are going to be roughly about 30 stores within the next few months that are fully open and operational. I also have a store down in Boca Raton in Austin, Texas.
Really?
Yeah.
And how are these stores doing? Is it popular?
We're not having a hard time getting new franchise owners right now. It's probably the biggest thing I've ever seen in my lifetime, and definitely Vince would agree that it's the biggest thing he's seen in his lifetime, as far as just how rapidly they're growing.
I was in one of your stores in Independence the other day.
That was my store.
That was your store?
Uh-huh.
Very nice. It's like almost like a spa. It feels like a spa kind of thing.
That's exactly what we're going for.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, good. You hit it right on
There you go.
And in the American Shaman, you will find different products. I'm going to hold these up to the camera here, and let's go through these. And maybe Vince or Todd, you could tell us what these products do.
Sure. So you're looking at basically a hand and body moisturizing lotion that's infused with CBD to help recuperate and heal skin. And the other thing is that is a lotion which it's all organic and natural. There's 10 different oils in there that are all certified organic.
All right, this next one is a tincture, the Cloud Tincture. What is
So
this
the
one?
Cloud Tincture is a nano product that we've infused in vegetable glycerin. So the vegetable glycerin gives a sweet flavor that overcomes the natural terpenes that are in the hemp that have more of a bitter lemon type taste. So you can do 3 things with that product. You can tincture it, drip it under your tongue for mucosal absorption. You can dissolve it in liquid and drink it, or you can place it in a vaporizer and vape it.
This next one is the water-soluble, ultra-concentrated, full-spectrum hemp oil daily dietary supplement. That's
There
a
you
long
go.
name.
That's a lot of words.
Holy cow.
So that is very similar to the vegetable glycerin, only it's in water. So that product is exclusive for the use in liquids. You put it in your drink and drink it.
And this one you said is a new product called the Nano Kava Kava. And kava has an interesting historical background.
It does. So kava has been used for thousands of years in Polynesia. It's generally used as a ceremonial product to get you relaxed, to meditate. I guess think of it as a natural Valium, maybe a little deeper than that. There are different varieties of kava. The noble kava is recognized as being the strongest, which was, excuse me, exclusively used for chieftains to squash beef. So we take that, we extract it with CO2, the same as we do the hemp, and we take that and run it through our nanification process to increase the bioavailability and the onset of it.
And this
much
next one
faster.
is it's got an odd name to it. It's a topical cream in a little jar. I love the blue jars. But it's an equine
It is.
ointment.
That's kind
for
of a
horses?
Correct. Well, it's an interesting history. So we had a group of people come to us and ask for some products for thoroughbred racehorses.
Right. To calm them down.
One, to calm them. B, to heal them because they're so nervous and high-strung that they tend to bang up their shins
Right.
and things in their stalls. So we made this topically to help pull that inflammation out and speed healing. And we gave an oral product to calm the horse. We were selling lots of it, and we were like, wow, we had no idea the equine market was so large. And we started to talk to the people, and we found out, no, it was the jockeys, the horses, the trainers, the people in the stall, around the horse that were using it. So 99% of the sales of that product is actually to humans.
Where's all this stuff made?
We make all this right on Southwest Boulevard here in Kansas City.
Your
Just-
plant is on Southwest Boulevard,
Southwest
just
Boulevard.
down the hill from us here?
Correct, yeah.
Where do you
Minutes.
get your hemp, your oils? and
So
things?
our hemp is predominantly comes from Kentucky. We also come from Colorado, and we have a large farm that we're harvesting and extracting as we speak in Montana.
No locally grown hemp.
Well, legally we can't.
can't,
But in 2019 we can. So Kansas and Missouri will both be growing hemp.
Really?
next- Yeah.
That was a huge, if people don't know the history of ag here, it was the largest crop.
In Missouri, it was the largest crop, and they grew it significantly in Kansas as well. But Missouri and Kentucky historically have been the two largest hemp growing states. They were always kind of in a battle with each other who could grow the most each year.
Wow. So who is the average customer, Todd? When someone walks into your spa-like store or any of the other stores, they kind of all have the same feel, and we'll get into that in just a bit. But who is your typical customer?
What we're finding out is there is no typical customer. Everybody from millennials, 18 to 30 years old, are coming in and using it for anxiety, all the way to seniors, baby boomers. When we first started doing this, or when he first started doing this, we had a preconceived notion on who our customer was. We had this tunnel vision that it was only baby boomers because that was who was calling the most and that's who we were interacting with the most. When we brought on a marketing team to actually do some research, 50% of our customers are 30 to 45 years old. And that was a lot younger than what we anticipated. So when you work the retail stores, I transitioned from a corporate role to more of a franchise role over the past few months. And when you're actually working the franchise, you see these customers come in. You'll see, a 22-year-old girl with a nose ring come in and buy the equine ointment because she does gymnastics. And you see 15 minutes later a 75-year-old lady with an oxygen tank come in and buy the same thing for arthritis so she can sew.
Are these people who would, don't want to judge anyone, who might typically use cannabis medicinally or
Probably
recreational?
not. No more so than the normal population.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, if 20% of the people occasionally use cannabis in the normal population, probably 20% of our customers do. Most of our customers, honestly, have kind of been through the pharmaceutical ringer, and they're looking for something that works
Kinda run out of
without side
options.
effects. Yeah.
And you guys were talking earlier about what you can and can't say. Just from my firsthand testimony, when I came on as chief operating officer, in my mind, I thought this product was nothing more than snake oil. And I never tried it. And it was right around Christmas time this past year. And in that time of my life, I'm 39, I've had a heart attack, I've had quadruple bypass, I have a paralyzed diaphragm, I've had shingles, I've had a plethora of health issues. And I'm on all sorts of, at that time, I was taking 80 milligrams of Oxycontin and up to 12 Percocets and 30 milligrams of Lexapro.
For pain?
For pain and anxiety because of muscular dystrophy and other issues.
Oh, man.
My wife, out of desperation, insisted I try the equine ointment. And what happened was I was sitting in my recliner, and about 15 minutes later, it dawned on me, for the first time in my adult life, I was 100% pain-free. I was getting cortisone shots in my spine every 2 months, taking all these narcotic pain pills. And what happened was it kind of opened my eyes to the product that it worked. And over the next few months, I was using the equine ointment. I was using the water-soluble product twice a day as directed. And then I found myself throughout the day forgetting to take my pain pills. And anybody that takes narcotic pain pills knows that you always want to stay ahead of them because they take time to get in your system. Well, if I take pain pills at 10 o'clock in the morning and it's all of a sudden past lunch and I haven't taken them yet, I was like, I'm not in pain. What's going on here? Then throughout the next couple months, I deliberately tried to decrease the amount of pain pills as much as possible. Today, I'm taking 10 milligrams from 80 of OxyContin.
Holy cow.
I'm taking 1 or 2 Percocets throughout the day, and I take those more out of withdrawal symptoms than I have legitimate pain.
Do you see a day where you'll be off those, hopefully, and then just strictly on the equine?
My goal is by the end of November to be 100% narcotic and antidepressant free.
Wow.
Because I'm also only down to 10 milligrams occasionally of the Lexapro. So from my own personal testimony, it's completely changed my life. And that's why my wife and I are focusing all of our efforts on opening up stores, because you have that face-to-face customer interaction, and our job isn't a sales job. It's more of a storyteller. You tell people who you are and why you do this, and let them make the decision on what's right for them. And what we're finding is 94% of our consumers come back every month.
94%. That's
Yes.
a huge return rate. And how much are they dropping in the stores when they come in, the average visit?
The average ticket online, I think, is about $90 to $95. In the store, I think they tend to spend a little bit more money because you can have that one-on-one connection
Right.
with them and explain to them all
Education.
the products. So, I mean, the ticket might be about $150 to $175 in store.
So this leads to the other opportunity in that, and not just the benefits, supplemental benefits, not medicinal, but supplemental
Correct.
benefits, but also a business benefit for someone wanting to get into their own mom and pop business where they control their future.
Correct. Yeah.
How does that work?
Well, a franchise system, basically to set up a store, plus or minus, is about $35,000, all in. We can't give figures legally.
Right.
for
That's the
federal
build
law.
out,
The build out,
the
the
signage,
product,
the product.
correct, everything. So it's incredibly inexpensive. And honestly, I've been self-employed my entire life, entrepreneurial, and I've never seen any return like this. I mean, it's amazing. And of course, that's why we're growing so fast.
Right.
We're trying to control our growth, but we're adding about 50 franchises a month right now.
Where do people put these stores, though?
We
Strip centers?
strip centers. We really like grocery stores.
Near a
because-
grocery store?
Yeah, we
Why?
love high traffic neighborhood centers. You go there 2 or 3 times a week,
Mhm.
so you get seen. And originally, of course, as Todd was saying, we were really directed towards the baby boomer market because that was
Mhm.
who we were seeing the most. And the older you are, the more you typically go to the grocery store to get your
Right.
food.
So how do you get past in any sales? You're always looking at the objections. How do you overcome the objection? In my eyes, I see the objection being, well, it's pot, and some people don't want to. I mean, that's a misinformed perception, but that is a perception that's not reality. How do you overcome that perception?
Education. When you sit there at our stores, especially the ones I'm involved in, the first thing we do is educate you on what it is. It comes from the hemp plant. It's not marijuana. It doesn't get you high. There's no recreational benefit to this product. If people are looking for neuropathic alternative products to help them alleviate the symptoms, this is the conversation we have. Then once we get past that, the next question is, can you get high? No, you can't get high out of it. And then the next thing we do is we try to get the product in them or on them as quickly as possible, because the product works very quickly.
So you go in the store, if someone has an ailment, you put it on them and have them sit there and see what happens.
Absolutely. I have a sinus infection right now. I must have got it from Vince. But this morning I was at urgent care, and I saw a guy walking pretty funny, and I walk funny too. So I asked him what was going on. And he said he's a truck driver and he has a plantar or something along those lines.
Fasciitis.
Yeah. So I said, hold on one second, I'll be right back. And I went out to my car because I always carry the equine ointment with me. And right there in the middle of the urgent care waiting room, I had him take off his sock and I put some on his foot. And I said, give it 5 minutes. At the end of 5 minutes, he left the doctor's office and went to our store and bought a jar of it.
Wow.
And he just sent me a text. He's like, this is the first time in 15 years that I've ever had anything work like this. And he says, I have several family members and other truck drivers that have similar issues. So we'll just see where it goes. But it's just an amazing product that I didn't believe it until I tried it. And that's why I carry it with me, to allow people to try it.
What kind of person's right for this franchise, you think?
Well, really anybody who's compassionate, caring, that wants to help. That's the majority of the people, interestingly enough, have come as customers. They've been using the product and have a personal experience, and they're like, yeah, I want to dedicate my life to this. The fact that I can make a living doing it is amazing.
Do you reach a point, because there's other companies doing the same thing?
Yeah, but
Right.
nobody
Is there a saturation
franchising.
point?
Well, Yes,
the market?
but that is so far off that that's really hard to say. I can tell you the Wall Street predictions is that within 10 years, this is a $500 billion industry. Right now, it's
Half a trillion.
$500 billion. Yeah. So right now, it's not much over 100 million. So a lot of room for.
You guys aren't public, are you?
We could. We've had people approach us, but we're maybe in a year we will do something like that. At this point, there's no reason to. We're growing really well. We're growing incredibly fast. It just doesn't make sense. But could we? Yeah, we could. On that subject, we're on the hemp roundtable, which is the sixth largest.
The hemp roundtable.
Yeah, that's the sixth largest CBD companies, and we work synergistically together for lobbying efforts and educational reasons. And to keep the market clean, because there's a lot of quote snake oil guys out there that are in on the green rush, and
Well, so how do you know the difference, though? How do you say, oh, this guy's no good, this guy's good?
Pretty much testing and seeing what their products are. That's really the way to do it. There's no way for you to know as a consumer what's in
I
that
don't know.
bottle, right?
Yeah.
No way. So by the first of the year, we've formed an SRO, which is a self-regulated organization that will operate basically at FDA pharmaceutical levels that all of us have contributed money to get it birth to it. But we have no say. We'll be subject to them coming in quarterly and testing us. And if we don't test out, we don't get the seal of approval. Now, this is open to any hemp company.
So will the seal be on the product?
It will. It will.
And if you don't have the seal, then you're suspect of having a
Of a
bad
subpar
product.
right?
Yeah.
Because why don't you have the seal?
Huh. Well, guys, thank you so much.
Thank
Good
you.
luck to you. It's been good getting to know you and about your product, and appreciate it. Thanks for getting
Thank you.
comfortable with Mark Alford.
Thanks, sir.
All right.
Take care.
Well, thank you, guys. I think
Thanks,
our
man.
engineer's out of the.
Oh, he's going.
But that's fine. You did a good job.
Well, thank you. I've been having this chronic cough. Once it starts, I can't stop. I was like, please don't cough. Please don't go.
Mark, do you have pain?
I don't. I'm very blessed that now, when I get